Because sobriety, I mean, it's just life. Life sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people can't handle that. I think people need to have something going on at all times. Sobriety is boring at times.
Yeah.
There's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of just going to work, cooking dinner, and watching TV. Not exciting at all. And I think some people, when they're living like that for a certain period of time, they kind of go crazy and they're like, I need something. Yeah. And then they wind up going to Burning Man.
Hi everyone, my name is Ray, or some of you might know me as Tiki with Ray, and this is another episode of Straight Edge Tiki. I got my good buddy Doc here. And
coolest guy in the room.
You are the coolest guy in the room, but there is only 2 guys in this room.
Yeah, that's true.
So you win. But you would get that anyway. And I think today we're going to talk about, I think it's a pretty important topic. There's actually a term for this. I don't know if, have you heard of the term sober curious?
I think sober curious would be something happening when you have like the worst hangover of your life. Like when you wake up and you feel like a part of your soul has been destroyed, you might be curious about being sober.
Yeah, that might be. Well, it's an actual movement.
Or if you wake up in the hospital or you wake up in jail, you might go, you know what?
I wonder how this whole sobriety thing would work out.
I wonder if I'd wind up in a jail cell if I was sober.
Answer's no.
That's the only thing I can think. I've never heard of sober.
No, it's a new statement, and there's actually a book about it. But the whole idea is it's a book because there are younger people that are kind of starting to kick around the idea of like, maybe I don't need the drink. Like they don't have problems, they don't have issues with it.
Yeah.
But they're just sort of like, you know what? I'm tired of like feeling like shit.
About like a younger generation.
Yeah.
They're not like freaking running to the frickin' finish line of drinking and getting fucked up. You know, they're kind of like, no, it's.
You're like, why would I?
Good.
Well, why do I want to act sloppy? You know.
Right.
So I think it's a good thing, but what this video is going to be about is, say you're thinking about quitting. Say you are sober curious, for lack of a better term. Mm-hmm. I think there's some things that you need to know. And
it's different for everyone.
Yeah, and let me start off this by saying, so when what I went through at the beginning of the beginning of this year, and then at the end of last year, when I was dealing with the insomnia and all this stuff like that, you know, I was I couldn't sleep, and the reason why I couldn't sleep is because I'd have this like hypnic jerking thing going on, where like my body would just do this. Or I'd try to go to bed and I'm trying to lay there and all of a sudden like my body would just go into fight or flight. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then at first I'm like, oh, I have a problem with sleeping. And I went to my doctor. She gave me pills for that. They didn't really knock me out. Then I realized like, oh, this is anxiety. And then I went back, got on Zoloft, an antidepressant. And then I started going through that. And the thing about an antidepressant is like when you take it, it's a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
You're going to have highs, lows.
Well, you kind of have to wait it takes 3 weeks for it to kind of kick in?
It kind of kicks in pretty much immediately, but you're going to go on a rock and roll ride because it's like you're going to feel good today, but then you're going to feel bad tomorrow. You're going to feel bad tomorrow, the next day after that, and then you're going to feel good, bad. And it's this, and it's...
I call that Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I was dealing with like a lot of anxiety. Like I was dealing with anxiety. I didn't even realize it was anxiety because I never experienced it before. And the whole time I thought, oh, I'm just dealing with the meds. I'm waiting for the meds to level out. I mean, and if you want to get down to it, it was about 3 months for me where things finally kind of just leveled out. Mm-hmm. But what I realized is what I was going through wasn't because of the medication. It was because I was withdrawing from alcohol. This thing's called PAWS, post-acute withdrawal syndrome.
And that is a real deal.
Yeah.
A lot of people deal with that, and they handle it differently. It affects everybody differently. I was lucky enough to not really go through a major alcohol withdrawal.
You didn't?
No, I got sober when I was trying to get sober off opiates.
Yeah.
And when I went to rehab, they were like, okay, this program is a drug, so you're not allowed to drink alcohol, smoke pot, anything. And I was specifically there to get off painkillers. And I go, well, doctor, I'm going to need fucking drink to get through this. That was my mentality. It didn't make any sense to me. I was like, no, I need to get drunk to get through this. This has been 3 years of hell.
Yeah.
I'm freaking chipping heroin. I'm, trying to score. I need to get sober, but I'm going to need alcohol to get sober.
Hey, Doc, one step at a time here, all right, buddy?
So that was just completely...
that's a big ask.
Yeah, I was just completely naive to the whole program.
Yeah.
Getting rehabilitated. And I, after talking and reading the information, I was like, you know what? I can do 6 months.
Yeah.
The program was 8 months, 6 to 8 months, and I was like, I can not drink for 8 months. But when I get out of here, I'm going to fucking drink my socks off. After 2 months, I never had a craving for alcohol, and I haven't had one in 11 years. And it would be stupid for me to drink. It's weird how that worked.
So what do you think happened in those couple months?
Well, I think what happens is, and I think this is something that trips up a lot of people.
Okay.
When you have any kind of a problem, my problem was opiates and painkillers.
Yeah.
Drinking, no different. I think a lot of people, they run into a situation where they're given an ultimatum, or they have a come to Jesus with themselves and realize, I need to get sober or I'm going to die or something.
Yeah.
The first step, I think, to getting sober off of anything, drinking, or anything for that matter, is you have to ask yourself, do you really want to stop drinking?
Yes.
Have you taken in
the
weight of that? Because that's the thing. You can never go back. If you go back, you could be sober 5 years. I've been sober 11. If I had a drink now, I'd go right back to square one. That's just how it works. And I don't think a lot of people can grasp that concept. You have to want to never drink again.
Yeah, like with all your heart.
With everything.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people...
And you can't come at it like, well, my wife wants me to quit drinking.
That's what happens.
It ain't going to happen.
People are given an ultimatum. They're given an ultimatum by their wife. Hey, if you don't stop drinking, I'm going to take the kids, divorce, done. They're given an ultimatum by a judge.
Yeah.
Okay, they've gotten a DUI. The judge says, you got to do this, this, and this. When I was in rehab, I saw guys, and you could tell that their lives were fine.
Yeah.
They had too much to drink one night. They drove home. They got pulled over. They got a DUI, and the judge threw the fucking book at them. They threw them in a freaking 8-month rehabilitation program for, blowing a point over the legal limit or something. I was there because my life was shit, and
Hold on a second.
Well played, Batsy. Well played.
For a second there, I thought I thought everything was like falling over.
Do you live an unmanageable lifestyle?
So obviously, when you went into detox from off the painkillers, you did have in your heart 100% like, I want to get off the shit.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get off of. I realized, here's the deal. A lot of people are in denial when they're drinking or using.
Yeah.
You can still be functional.
Yeah.
You can still go to a job every day.
Yep.
You can still, pay your bills. But you got to read the writing on the wall. And I was looking around going, okay, yeah, I'm still working, kind of. And I'm still... but there are fires everywhere.
Yeah.
Why are there fires everywhere? I'm doing the right thing. What? Because I want to drink and use drugs? I have to deal with all these fires. But you don't think that way. You're just thinking you have bad luck.
Yeah.
Since I've been sober, I never have fires. And if they are, they're little fires that I can deal with right away. But when I was using, it was war. Every morning I woke up, it felt like war. I was like, I got to get through another day of life, and this is going to be hard. Maintenance. It's hell. There's no fun in dealing with that. So... The writing's on the wall. You got to pay attention to the signs. And I think a lot of people, when they're drinking, they don't pay attention to this. They don't pay... Why is my relationship shit? Why is this going on? This. And that's when you got to really look at those things, if you can. If you're of sound mind at the time, and go, Maybe it's this alcohol. And then that brings you to the question, do you really want to stop drinking?
Yeah.
And I honestly think a lot of people don't. They want to see what they can get away with. They want to go as long. They want to do what they have to do to keep their marriage alive. They want to do what they have to do to keep the judge happy and not go back to jail. But once they're given a little bit of leeway, I guarantee they'll say, you know what, I've earned a drink. And then they go right back to square one. You always wind up at square one. You never can avoid that if you're an alcoholic. There are people out there that are not alcoholics. They can drink. They can actually use. They can do it once. They do it in moderation. They don't get DUIs. They don't go to jail. They don't have failed marriages. They have a couple of beers with their friends. They play poker. They go to bed. They go to the Seahawks game, drink a couple of beers, and they get home just fine.
Yep.
People can do that. It's not everybody, but if you're an addict or an alcoholic and you just have that wiring, you got to have a come to Jesus with yourself and say, I don't want to drink anymore. I don't want to live like this.
Yeah.
That's what I did, and it's been very successful. I've seen the results.
But before you do that, though, before you make the decision to say, like, all right, I want to quit drinking, don't.
Exactly. Don't.
Because you
Life's
can't.
too short.
No, because if you quit cold turkey, depending on how much of a drinker you are, it could kill you.
That is the extreme situation. If you are someone that has to drink to stop your body from shaking, and I've known these people. They have to drink. They have to shotgun a beer first thing in the morning to get the shakes to go away. That is not. It's not advised to just stop cold turkey.
No.
You need to do that under medical supervision. You need to go through professional detox. You can detox all you want when you're coming off heroin. Yeah. It won't kill you. Yeah. You'll wish you were dead, but it won't kill you.
You said
benzos and alcohol, though, if
alcohol.
You're that far along to where you need alcohol to even out, then you need to be in a detox facility under medical supervision. It's highly recommended.
And what I learned from my doctor is that benzos and alcohol affect your GABA receptors the same way. So, that being said, before we push, throw benzos under the rug, just like you said, if you're thinking about drinking, before you stop or think about it, go to your doctor. Go to your doctor and say, listen, this is what I want to do. And they're going to ask you some questions. And they're going to ask you some really, really important questions that you need to answer honestly. Mm-hmm. Because, believe me, you think you might not need medication, you're probably going to need some medication to get you through this. Because, even if it doesn't fucking kill you, you're going to be going through some hell, dude. I mean, with the point of, like, for me, I was withdrawing from alcohol, and I didn't even realize it.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me? And if I would have known, like, oh, this is what's going to happen when you stop.
There's the initial deterrent from alcohol or drugs, whatever. There's the initial detox, and a lot of people get scared of that. People think rehab, they think, oh, man, I'm such a fucking loser. I'm going to rehab. Detox. I remember I went to detox. I was scared shitless. Yeah. And I remember looking at the doctor going, am I going to be all right? And he looked at me. He's like, the amount of drugs you do, dude, we got this. You ain't shit. You're pumpkin pie, man.
Yeah, this is what I want to say this because this is very, very important. If you are a regular drinker, like I was, and again, one of those reality things. So I have been drinking consistently for like over 20 years.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't drink every day, but
it's consistent.
But I bet you I was drinking 3-4 times a week.
Yeah, you take one of those quizzes like a doctor
every week.
Yeah, you take one of those quizzes like a doctor gives you. How many cups of alcohol, glasses of alcohol do you consume a week? And you're thinking like 20, and it says 2 to 3, you're okay. But after that, you're like a full-blown alcoholic.
So this is something.
And I was like, this is bullshit.
So this is something that you got to learn, is that if you are a consistent drinker, and you've been a consistent drinker for a long time, and then you stop, your brain is going to be like, is so used to having that alcohol in there to help with whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And now your brain's like, where's the alcohol? Where's the alcohol? Where's the alcohol? that's the reason why your anxiety might go up.
And that's why with
You might have depression. I mean, you're gonna be on that rock and roller coaster of emotions. But I want everyone to know that if you're gonna quit, because there's a good chance that that's probably gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what rehabilitation. That's what rehab's all about.
And if you're gonna quit drinking or you want to stop drinking, to me, it's like, tell your friends and family.
Yeah.
Maybe they might not even know you're drinking. Maybe they might not even know you had a problem. But I think it's important to put things on Front Street and say to your friends and your family, say your wife or your husband, absolutely. And be like, or your partner, and be like, hey, listen, I have a problem. I want to stop, and I just need your support.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Everybody's in my
nobody
browbeats you for it. Everybody's always supportive. There's like, that's the thing. Support is always good.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll do drugs in front of you. Hope you don't mind. Knock yourself out. But everybody's real supportive.
Yeah, and speaking of that, and I want to let everyone know, if you're watching this video, and say if you are sober curious, say you are thinking about quitting drinking, and you have some reservations, or say you are quitting and you're going through it, and you're having a rocky road, I want to let you all know that you can reach out to me. I mean, you could reach out to me on Facebook, my blog, tikiwithray.com, my Instagram. Reach out to me. I'll talk to you. You know, I'll help you with however I can.
I would be the best person to reach out.
Yeah. That's why you should call me. Call me.
Of course, you love drinking. It's the opposite of not drinking. Drinking. Somebody's calling me, and I'm really in a hard spot right now. Well, of course you are. You're not drinking. That sucks. Remember all the good times you've had? You just want to stop drinking because you just don't want to have a hangover anymore. You just want things kind of even out. Well, no, that's not how it works. It's either one or the other. You either have fun and things are crazy, or you don't drink and things are boring. Now, which one do you want?
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's why you should reach out to me.
And then they're on a fucking cliff. I regret nothing.
I shouldn't have called Doc.